Hello and welcome to this training where we'll be talking about the challenges of content creation. So this training today is all about how to overcome the challenges of content creation. And as you know, one of the biggest challenges of content creation is editing. I'm super excited today because this is where today's video is where you will learn how to put together all the videos that you have shot over the years in your with your phone. What is editing? Editing is basically the art of joining different video clips together. It's all about it's the art of manipulating your video clips. It's the art of creating the story the way you want it to be told. So with today's training, you'll be able to know how to put together the clips that you've had or the clips that you'll be shooting, especially if you were part of yesterday's training video, which would be also available on this channel. You can go through that video to be able to learn how to shoot, how to film with your mobile phones. And today we'll be going through how to edit those videos and footages that you'll be filming or that you have filmed. Um, First of all, before we go ahead, I would want to just say a big thank you to the sponsors of this project, because this is a project that we've put together through Tonflix, and it's been sponsored by the European Union, the Scottish Government, University of Glasgow, Scottish Refugee Council, COSLA, to help with asylum seekers and African refugees so that they can be able to learn some skills that they can use, some vocational skills that they can use to empower themselves. So this is all about empowering, guys. This is something you need to take on board because you can always learn how to create contents that you would use to market your services, your products, and share your stories with the rest of the world. Without wasting too much time, meanwhile, I've got a surprise at the end of today's training. So make sure you stick to the end because I've got a master editor who has loads of years of experience, way more advanced than myself, and he's going to come on board today to share some of his experiences and share some editing tips, especially for those of us that are looking to advance our editing beyond mobile phone or that are already into like events and live video, live editing, and proper editing, professional editing. So if that is you, then try and stick to the end of this video because I'll be bringing in an expert editor. But before then, what I want to do is I will share my screen with you to show you where you can get this app. It's a mobile app. Everything I'm talking about today is going to be what you already have and what you already know how to do. We're going to be looking at the mobile app that you would download. They have the free version, but then they have the paid version, guys. So, but I want you to try as much as possible. Probably once you try the free version, try and go for the paid one because it gives you more options to be able to edit and export your videos in full HD and higher qualities. They've got it up to 4K, but the free version is still fine. All they will do is just put a watermark, put their name, their logo on your video. That is it. If you are fine with that, then that's okay. You can test it with the free version and you can use the free version for as long as you can. So I'm going to share my screen so that you see how you can download this free version or download the app. It's on App Store. I'm using Google because I'm using this $200 phone. It's under $200 and it is what I use to edit my videos, and I download the app on it as well. So if my less than $200 phone can do the editing, I'm sure your sophisticated iPhones and other phones can do the editing proper. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and this is the App Store. As you all know, this is Google Store, and you can always once you type in Power Director. So the name of the app is Power Director. Power Director. POWER, then Director, DIRECTOR. Power Director editing software, and it's the first one. You can see it's ticked on my on my own. I've already downloaded it. I already have it. So guys, go and download this. And please, please, please share this video. Keep sharing this video so that more people can see and benefit from this. And once you've downloaded it, all you have to do is install it. Once you've downloaded, install it, and you know how to install and grant all the permissions, because they might need permission to go into your settings, and need permission to go into, I mean, for you to give the app permission to be able to access your footage. That's the only thing you need to do. And I've been using the app for years now. It's very, very great. They don't bother you with anything. They don't invade your privacy. So as long as you are happy for them to, I mean, for the app to access your data, your files on your phone, that's just it. And once you do that, you also see this. Once you've downloaded it and you've granted the permission, you would
Director looks
see.
like, especially once you've already registered and you're in the app proper. I think for first time users, the app might have some pop-up screens where you have to go through the registration, or they'll try and show you some of the features. But once you've gone through all that and you are now in the project itself, this is what it looks like. Power Director, you can see I'm using the premium version. So for those that are not using the premium version, I think there will be some watermarks or limitations as I explained earlier on. But this is what it looks like. Then you click on new project, this plus button, click on it. It is always good practice to save, to name your project. So I love naming my projects and I love typing in caps. So for the purpose of this, we would use training. Probably I'll save it up to training one. And then this is what Ken was talking about yesterday, aspect ratio and frame rate. But as Mr. Toye said, frame rate can automatically be detected by your phones, but then the aspect ratio, this software, I mean this editing software is giving us the capability, and this is why I love it, to choose which of the aspect ratio we want. As I explained yesterday, 16 by 9 is good for YouTube, and it's also good for your screen in case you want to, if you've recorded for your computer or for your TV, for your contents to be watched on computer or on TV, then 16 by 9 aspect ratio is what you would choose. That is if you have recorded placing your phone in landscape mode. And landscape mode is you have filmed your content by putting your phone sideways. So that is where you choose 16 by 9. But if you had filmed your content by putting your phone in portrait mode, which is the straight mode, the way we normally use the phone straight, which is 9 by 6, you can see the shapes of these numbers I'm saying on the screen, and you can also see the numbers there. 16 by 9 is the first one from left to right, and then 9 by 16 is the second one from left to right. That is how we normally use our phones, and this is good for like Snapchats, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, or WhatsApp status. If this is what your content, if this is where you want to distribute your content, then 9 by 16 is good for you. 1 by 1 is perfect for Instagram. That is Instagram size. It's kind of like box shape. If your content is going to Instagram feed, Instagram post, then and you filmed it in 1 by 1, or you want this editing software to automatically crop your final video into this shape, then 1 by 1 is good. Because if you filmed in 9 by 16, which is the portrait mode, which is the way you use your phone normally, and you want to post that onto Instagram post, what will happen is Instagram will cut it. The whole video will not show because Instagram will cut it and reduce it to this 1 by 1. But you could automatically do the zooming and the cropping here by choosing 1 by 1, and then I'll show you once we get into the software how you can reshape it so that everything fits into this 1 by 1 shape for Instagram. And 4 by 4, 4 by 5 rather, which is the next one, which is the second to the far right. 4 by 5 is good for Facebook. It's a very good aspect ratio for Facebook. Well, 21 by 9, I don't know. We hardly use that. People hardly use that. I think that is some anamorphic kind of settings. But in all honesty, 16 by 9 cuts across all this platform. So 16 by 9, which is the landscape mode, is the best and most versatile, except for the Instagram stories and all. But it will still work. Just that it won't be as long. Do you get what I mean? There might be black bars on top, black bars in the middle, I mean the bottom section, but the 16 by 9 shape will be in the center. And it just depends on what story you want to tell and the platform you want to go for. So for the purpose of this training, let's choose 16 by 9. So if we choose 16 by 9, I think of recent, I don't really have much stuff that are 16 by 9 on my phone, but let's choose 16 by 9. Let's intend we're posting to YouTube. So now we've chosen 16 by 9, and now we just want to see. So now this thing has got access to all my media files, because by the time you're setting this up, you would have granted it permission, you would have accepted that you're giving it permission to go into your data files. So let me choose this camera, this top camera. Let me go back again and show you what I mean by that. So this will have access to all your data wherever they are stored. You can see them. So you now need to choose where your data that you want to edit is. Most likely, let's assume it to be in your camera settings. So that's why I'm choosing camera. So, and that's why it's really important when you're saving these things, know where you have saved them. So let me use one of these behind the scenes stuffs we filmed. Where is it? And I have one. Let me choose from here. You can preview it. So when you click on it first, it shows you a plus button or the play button. If you click the play plus button, it will automatically add it to the timeline. If you choose timeline is where your editing happens. But if you choose the play button, it will automatically play. So it's good to preview what you want to edit. So I'll choose the play button. And action.
Make I bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know that. Why you say you don't even the hear what say? Eh? You gonna do I already play for someone. They say it's one piece. They say I you know come back here. Over there can buy anything. Turn like that. Oh yeah, inside. Inside. Someone say like you feel me waiting there. Officer on that.
Okay, so I think that clip is perfect for the purpose of this. This was one of the films I shot in Nigeria, but that was behind the scene. As I was explaining to you, I practice what I preach. I was filming my behind the scene with my phone because I wanted to use that to showcase what we go through behind the scenes. So I've got loads of those footages, and that is it. Except for my actual films that I shoot on camera with proper professional film cameras, most of the time I'm always filming my stories, my stuffs, any message I have to put out there. I'm always filming it with my mobile phone because it is a powerhouse that I already have. I'm sure we've already gone there, and by the time you're into this editing masterclass, you have already decided that you want to be using your mobile phone to create your stories, create your content, use it to as a marketing tool for yourself. So now I'm happy with that footage. I've previewed it. All I need to do now is click this plus button and boom, it automatically goes down into the timeline. So where you see the footage now, this one that I'm moving, that is what is called the timeline. And you can see there's numbers on it, there's timestamps on it. So that is the timeline. And that footage is about 32 seconds long. So okay, let me just cut this one first before I add the next one. And then And then we will see that because I've moved it, let me now look for another footage. Let's see, let's play another footage. Let me see what this looks like. Again, I'm going to preview it.
Mama fish, give me. They shine your head for me.
Okay.
Now today,
Okay.
I don't dey suspect.
So that is still previewing, but before I go to that, let me just cut the one we've already put in. And the way you leave this place is either you click on the timeline, you click on the footage itself, and that will give you, or you click, there's a back button on the top left. But if you click the timeline itself, then all your data, where your data is stored, that you were choosing the data you wanted to edit from, that should disappear once you click this timeline. And you can see that is highlighted in white, this one that I'm moving, because you can move it. Guys, don't be scared. This whole software is indestructible. You cannot destroy anything. If you make any mistake, say for example, you make a mistake by deleting this, no, don't be scared. All you have to do is press this back button. You will see it on the left hand side of the software. So if you look towards your left hand side, you see a button that looks like home. You see another one that has the music and the icon, the music icon. You see another one that has like books or something. Then under it, you see under it there's like a back arrow button. If you press that, you see automatically your stuff, the footage is back. So guys, don't be scared to move things. Don't be scared to do anything you want to do with this, because you cannot destroy this software. You understand? You cannot make, and if you make any mistake, press your back button, back button. And as you're walking along, this software automatically saves your job as well. So don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared. So okay, now as I was saying, this is the footage I want. So let's play it now from the timeline again. And your play button is on your right hand side. So guys, just keep looking in the software. It's so simple and so easy. It's a professional editing software for mobile phone. I think they have the advanced one for PC and computers, but that is not what we're looking at right now. And I've got my preferred professional editing software for PC. I don't use this for my PC, but for mobile, this is what I use. I love it. It's brilliant. It's very versatile. So as I was saying, on the right hand side, you see the play button. Click the play button to preview it again. Bottom right hand side.
And action. Make I bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know they. Why you say you don't even the hear what said? You gonna do allow them to play for some of the things.
Okay, so for the purpose of this training, I don't want to hear my own voice when I said and action. So what we want to do, we want to cut that, because that is what editing is all about. It's about joining and cutting, joining two footages together and cutting or removing what you don't want. So how do you cut, guys? Now, if you play again,
And action.
so now before the actor in white shirt says make I said I said action, but it was almost the same time. That is why on set, try and learn to always pause. Try and tell your actors or your talents to kind of pause 3 seconds when you give an instruction. Always pause 3 seconds. And if you're the type that is just filming yourself, if you're filming yourself and you've made a mistake, when you want to correct yourself, by the time you realize you made a mistake and you want to correct and keep going, pause like 3 seconds so that when you're editing, you have space to cut that out. Now, this actor has given us some work to do, because we need to find that perfect spot where I said and action, and then when he started talking, we need to find that tiny space. Again, guys, when you pinch this screen, you can expand it or you can bring it back in. Uh, so now we play again.
And action.
So I got it right on time. Be fast, guys. Now you click on the timeline again. Make sure you click on the footage again so that it's highlighted as white. Then on the bottom left corner, the bottom left, you see an icon that looks like pen or pencil. Click on it, then some other icons will come out. So, guys, there's some of these things that I might miss in this training, but whichever one I miss, all you have to do when you download this app is go through it. Don't be scared to press any button. If you press a button, if it is the wrong button, as I told you, in the top, in the left section, you will see this back arrow or the front arrow. So the front arrow means go back to my previous section, go back to the future one, or the back arrow means back one step. So as I said, click on the footage itself, let it be highlighted white like that, you can see. Then this pen button below the basket, below the bin icon comes up. Click on the pen, and then you will see split, you see volume, you see audio mixing, you see different kinds of different kinds of commands. What we want here is we are looking to cut my voice out of this video so that we can have the actor's voice alone. Now click the split button. Now you can see it has, again, to get rid of those icon, just press your footage and it will go again. Now you can see that it has split this footage into two. You can see at that point that it has split this footage into two. So the first one is this one that is highlighted now, that I've pressed. This one is the one that I don't want, and this one is the one that I want, where the actor is speaking. So now I'll click on the first one, which I don't want, and it's time to go to the left hand corner of this software again. Just always look around. Most of the functions that you'll be needing are on the left hand corner, and then that is where you press, look for the icon that is what you're looking for. Now, since I don't want that clip, the most thing that I'll be looking for is the bin, the basket. Now when I click on it, the bin comes up and I bin it. So that's it, it's gone. Now I only have one clip. You can see I only have one clip all through. Now if you play, your play button is on your right hand corner, which is this right, bottom right. Now if you press play, you will see that I've managed to remove my unwanted voice. Though for what I want, why I recorded this footage when we were on set in Nigeria, the reason I recorded this was to show my behind the scene. So in my own, when I'm actually editing this for my own purposes, my voice will be there. But because of this training, I don't want my voice to be there, and that's why we've cut my voice out. Now if you play, you will see that what we just see is the actors and obviously the camera recording them. You see? So if I go back again, guys, you can always move this left or right to go to where you want to go. So I want to start from there. Now what I do again is press play. Okay, now we want to cut my voice again, because the reason we stopped that I cut there is because we want to take another angle, and the guys have deleted, I mean, they delivered their lines there. At the moment where he's pushing the lady is where we want to stop it. So we want to go and take another angle. So now we'll play again. As soon as we get to where he's really pushing her and my voice comes in again, cut. We want to cut before we want to edit this, and cutting means cutting away unwanted things. So we want to cut away my ugly voice. So now let's play again up to where I say cut. So now before cut, we can see from that moment. So now if you just move this, because you can move this left and right, and by the time you're looking at the time, on your time indicator there that is showing 2019, 20 something, you can read where I start saying cut. So on 25, that's where I say cut. So you want to cut it before that 25. So maybe 24.5. Again, if you remember how we cut my first voice, my action voice, click the footage again. Bottom left-hand corner, bottom of the left-hand corner, you see the pen icon. Click on the pen icon. You see the split icon. Click on split, and then you see the waste bin. Before I press the waste bin, let me come back here again. You see that this footage has turned into two now. The first one and then the second one. The second one is what we don't want. And so once you press the one you don't want, you will see that icon on your left hand side. Remember I said most of the buttons that you'll be using often are on the left hand side. Just look for the one that is the one you really want to use and click on it. So now waste basket is what I want because I don't want this footage. Click waste. And from start to finish, you will not hear my voice. So if there was an unwanted voice or an unwanted image in your footage that you want to cut off, this is how you cut, guys. So that is it. Now, if I play from beginning to the end, you can never hear my voice.
Make I bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know that. Why you say you know they put the year what eh? You gonna do allow them to play for some of the things I want peace. They say I need to come back. Over there can buy it. Turn like that. Oh yeah, inside. Inside. So we say na you go you know thing there. Obviously on that. Oh please. Today you know me say I get this. Now you go inside your house. I don't tell you. That's it.
You see, guys, that is it. My voice, we've managed to take my voice out. This is good enough to produce as the video you want to use. If this is what it is that you're looking for, now you've managed to remove the unwanted voice. But now, for the purpose of people like Anwilika that said they want to join different footages together, they just want to join different things. So this is one footage that you've managed to trim, beginning and the end. Now she wants to join another footage. So how do you join another footage to this one? Simple, guys. Remember I said most of the buttons that you'll be using often would be on the left hand side. So now we have the home button. The home button, once you are during your editing, you don't need the home button because the home button will take you back to the start. So you're not going to be pressing your home button. The next button you want is this button that has the film icon and the music icon. What the film icon is your footage, and then the music icon is like your audio or your songs that you want to use. So for the purpose of this, we'll click on the film and music icon. It brings us back to where our videos are. Remember, guys, it's either the video you want is you've recorded it through your camera or it's saved in your phone somehow, somewhere, somehow. So for this purpose, I'm using my camera that and this is all the kind of contents that I recorded on set while we were on set in Nigeria. And again, let's leave those guys because I think this is those guys here again. Let's go to one of the footage that we shot again in Nigeria. I will go to, let me go to this one. So guys, I'll click any one of this. You can preview it as I explained earlier. Preview it is by pressing the play button or just pressing the plus button to add. For the purpose of this training, I'll preview it again just for you guys to see.
With pointed nose. Now fly it's called Kevin. There's no difference between that and Kevin. Papa, when you finish talking, come and snap the picture. Let us laminate it and put it on the wall. It is picture you're looking for. Look at your mouth. Look at your nose like us that Kana is worrying. Papa, give me my phone. Papa, give me my phone. Come and take it.
Okay, again, I've shown you this. Okay. I would let's add this one, and then I'll think of where we need to cut. So let's add this. Again, what you do is press your the plus button. This software, guys, I don't know if you noticed, this software is so smart that it automatically adds every footage you add, every new footage you add, it automatically adds it to the end of the previous one. So if you remember, this was the one we cut my ugly voice out, and then this is the new one that we just added. But all we did was press the plus button from the point when we were adding it, from the point where from the data where my data is stored. So now it has automatically placed it, it has automatically joined it together. This software is so smart. It has done half of the work for you. It has automatically placed it together. Now it's left for you to decide if you want to play it from beginning there, or you want to cut again the way we did that cut. But let me play it from here to enter into the next one and just see.
Go inside your house. I go tell your guy say with pointed nose. Now fly here. It's called Pele. There's no difference between them. But when you finish talking, come and snap the picture. Let us laminate it.
As I said, this is my behind the scene. The reason I was filming this while we were on set was I wanted to just show the guys that were working, because most of the time when you watch a film, you never see the guys that are on camera. You never see the crew member. The first lady there that is laughing, she was the one that wrote this script that we're filming. The guy in blue holding the phone, he was also helping us to do some of the behind the scenes as well. He is a gaffer. He's a light man in training. He was under the mentorship of his boss while he was on set here with us. Yesterday we spoke about mentorship, mentoring, and that you should get a mentor. He's under training. The guy holding the camera there that you can see, he's under training of his boss, who is the light man. And then this other guy in white with his hands folded, he's also under mentor, is being mentored by this camera guy. This camera guy sitting handling the camera is an expert cameraman, is a top cinematographer in Nollywood. But this is just a very funny scene. Everybody was just laughing, even the crew. So I believe you guys would laugh on Sunday 28th when you watch this film. You can see that the crew are already laughing on set. So the purpose of this was not for me to film the action itself. So I was busy rotating the camera just to show the crew behind set, and the guy behind me as well. He's also one of the PAs on set that was helping us to make sure everything is being done. And then you can see the other guy behind me with the sound kit on his neck, wearing the Arrow Cage t-shirt, the red shirt. That's the sound man. And there behind us, we have the very passionate second unit guy, who is the second camera guy. We were filming two angles, so that's him over there. And back to the set. So let's say, for example, I want to cut maybe again as soon as the father steps out. That's where you want to cut this. So again, you remember how we're cutting. Because guys, you don't need to always press this play button. You can always move this thing. So when you're moving it left or right, move it left to where the father comes out, opens the door, closes the door. Bang. Remember, click the footage again on the left side of this software. You'll see the pen button. Click on it, and this whole tray of information comes out again. Click the split button. Once you click the split button, it automatically cuts at that point. So make sure, it is very, very important that make sure it is the point. So you can see where the time is. You see where the time is highlighted, and you see this thing that looks like pin at that point where there's time. So let me move it to 45. You see at 45, you can see there's a pin, there's a blue thing that looks like a pin. if you press the split button, that is where it will cut. So make sure you're pressing this split button, this split that looks like razor, that looks like blade. Make sure you're pressing it at the point you want it. Don't go and press it at the wrong point. But don't forget, if you press it at the wrong point, all you have to do is press the back button. So let's assuming, remember I've already cut where I want to cut, which is this footage. But let's assume this was I cut it at this place. So if I press this split icon, which is the first icon from the left, at the bottom left, if I mistakenly press it there, oh my goodness, I've cut the wrong thing. Guys, don't be afraid. All you have to do is press the back button, and now you still have your footage. So we've already cut this, this is the one I don't want. And then remember your bin, put it in the bin. So now we automatically have from here to the other film, which is, so you see, even though, because these two footage are not meant to make sense, they are not together, they are not the same film, you understand? This is just me behind the scene, this is us filming our behind the scene. These are two different films, by the way. These are two different films. So now you've put them together. Now, how do you put transitions? Transitions is what makes your footage not to really jump, kind of, helps you to join your footage together without this kind of hard cut. You see, that's a harsh hard cut. So transition, all you have to do to make it smooth so that visually they kind of blend together, and the first image enters into the second image in a very smooth way. What you need to do is click the middle where they join, right? You can see where they join. If you click that, you see again, we see different kind of transitions in the bottom section of this app coming up. As you can see, different kind of transitions coming up there. Different kind of transitions coming up. If you click this, you see all the transitions in the bottom section. From recent, you can see one, it says none. You can see that none is highlighted, which means I've not put any transition. You can see from my recent, the ones I've recently used, it has picked blur in, but for this sake, I don't think I want to use blur. So let's go to basic. You can see different loads of transitions. You see from basic to paper peel to roll to glitch to 3D to carousel to morphing to brush to seamless to seamless shake to split to, this software is advanced, guys, for mobile editing. This is really, really good software. It gives you a whole lot of abilities, a whole lot of things to choose from. But in your own free time, play with it, choose different things, just play around. So the first thing I'm going to try and do is go with basic. It's always good to start basic. If you're the type that likes to try things, you can try anyone you want, but I'll start with basic first. And one of the best basics is cross or fade. So I'll choose fade. Look at the basics, see the one that you like. You can always try things out. I'll try fade. And then how do you do it? Then you move your timeline again to this, press play to test. You can see it has transitioned very well. You can see it has transitioned smoothly. It just faded. The image faded into the next one. Let's play it again. You see? So you can transition from one image to the next footage. Just put all those transitions. So where you put the transition is at the point of cut, and we have already done that. I love that. I love that. And this software again gives you the ability to do different things. You can also you can decide to make your transition last longer. So if you press the transition, the point of transition, on your right hand side, you will see a slider that is showing 1.0, that is showing duration of transition. If you increase it, it means the transition will stay longer. So if you increase it to 2, guys, at this stage, it's very important that you don't start doing crazy things, right? But again, it is your creativity. If you want to do crazy, you can go all out. But let's just increase it to 2, and then we'll play again. We'll play it. We'll see how long that fade looks. You see, it delayed, but I don't want it to delay. I just want it the normal way that we had it before. So I'll press the back button just to have it the way it was before. Let's see. You see, we're back to 1, so which is fine. What are the other things that you guys might want that I think is basic that you might want? If anything that I miss in this training, remember we have the one-on-one training, and we can always go back to the one-on-one. I mean, you can always inbox me or call me to give you a one-on-one training on what it is that I might have missed here and explain further. So I think we've done transition. Yes. So now my transition, the image transitioned smoothly, but the audio, I don't like the way the audio blended together. There was even no blend, because from the first footage to the second footage, as I said, there are 2 different footages. So the way they shouted into each other, I don't like the blend. And this is how you can blend your audio together as well. So if you play, let's play it again. You see, so now what we can do is on the first one, if you click on it, remember, for you to be able to see all the left icons, click on the footage. Once you click on the footage, click on this pen or pencil icon. When you click on it, remember how we were cutting. Now we're not cutting, we want to blend the audio. Now you see volume. After the split, you see volume, you see audio mixing, you see audio tool, you see different things. But if we click on volume, now there's fade in and fade out. There's mute, but I don't think I want to mute this. If it's like Anwilika pointed out yesterday, she wants to be doing slideshows. If it's slideshow that she has this footage, but she wants to talk over it, now what you do is you mute this footage by pressing mute, or you just simply once you press the volume, you can see on the right hand side, you see the slider for how loud it is. You can either reduce it to the final 0 or increase it to don't over increase, because you want it to be loud. It might start picking. So just leave it at 100 if it's loud enough, or just make it louder a little bit. But that is for if you want to increase your volume. But what we want to do here is I want to fade out what the last person said in this footage. So I'll click fade out, and that is it. And then I'll now go to this second footage when that man starts talking, right? Click on it again, click the pen icon to show the bottom line, to give us the bottom line tools, the tools that we need for editing. And I'll click on volume again, and then you will see fade in and fade out. So here, fade in means it's coming in. You want the voice to fade in. Fade out means by the end, you want it to fade out a little bit, so at the voice, we don't hear the audio that much. But for the sake of blending, I want to fade in, because it's coming into the next scene. So I want it to fade in. Now, when we play everything, when I click the timeline to play everything from here into the next thing, you will see you will hear how it plays. Perfect, guys. Perfect. That is it. We can see that the image is blended and the audio also blended, because I faded it. Guys, you can try different things. I can decide that I don't want the first one to fade out. I just want the last one to fade in. Let's try that. Let's see. So remember, you press this footage, press your icon button, go to the volume, and remove your fade out. You can remove the fade out by clicking it again, and you will see that the actor's voice in the first one will not fade out. It will just play till the end. Now I only want this one to fade in, which we already have fading on. So now let's play it.
Now, go inside your house. I don't tell your guy, say,
You see, it's the second one that only faded in, but I think I prefer it. It sounded better with the two of them fading, one fading out and then fading into the second one. So, as I said, let's imagine that was a mistake. All I need to do is press my back button, which I have done, and you will see that it will automatically add that fade out that we had in the beginning, in the first place. So,
I get this. Now, go inside your house. I don't tell your guy, say,
this is perfect, guys. This is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So, what other things do you think you might need in editing to get your footage done, to get your footage to the level you want it to? I believe one of the things we might want is um is music, because some of you, maybe Anwilika, she's doing her slideshows, she wants music, or anybody, this, the next step will be how to add music into your edits. So again, we go to the left icon that we had earlier on. Remember, we have this left icon. What you do, this left slide, I mean, the left hand side of the software, where you have the home button, which is the top one. You don't need to click the home button, because the home button is just going to take you back to the start. So what you want is this button that has the music icon or the video reel, the second one from the left. On the left, the top, from the top, the second one from top on the left hand side. Click it, and then you will see you see your footages, right? Same on that left hand side of this screen of the software, you will see photo. If you go inside it, you will see different photos. If you go go to, you'll see video templates. I think this software automatically has so many video. This is a powerful software. This software is powerful. For those that just want slideshows of different things, you want to come up with Christmas stuffs, there's so many software, there's so many slideshows. But for the purpose of this training, I'm not going to use all this. But you guys can feel free, play with it, choose whichever one we want. Now we want music. That's the reason we came here. So we want music to put on this. And these are all the music. I think these are voice notes that are on my phone from different people. You can see these are all voice notes. But if you go through, you will see your own music somewhere, the music you want, because this has gotten access to all the audio files on your phone. So if you go through by going left or right, you will see, just sift through, you will see the music you want. I think I've downloaded some songs. If you click here, it will show you options of the kind of music. So for the sake of this thing, I think one of the, because we are going on YouTube, I wouldn't want to, because music is one of the things you have to be clear about. If you've downloaded a song, you need to be sure you have the rights to these songs. These songs are songs that I don't have rights, I don't have permission to them. So I wouldn't want to use it for the purpose of this video, because YouTube would automatically grab those videos and say we've used copyrighted songs. Though the video will be there, they won't take the video down, but they will just, flag you. They will let you know that you've used copyrighted songs. But again, to use a copyright song to use a song is similar to the song, to the way we added video. To add song is similar to the way we added video. Click on it. When you click on it, you will see that it will highlight the song. You can either play by pressing that play button, or add by pressing this plus button. But as I said, we don't want to add it. Let me go back by pressing that back button. Let me look for a song that I kind of have the right to. So This song was sent to me by a lady that wanted. So okay, this song was sent to me by a lady that wanted music video done. So I think we can use this one for the purpose of this video. So if you press, so let's assuming that is the song you want to use. Now what you have to do is press the plus button. Again, guys, when you press the plus button, you see it automatically comes. You can see that it automatically comes to, remember I was telling you about this arrow, this pin head thing that is telling us what time we are on the timeline. You see, this was where the arrow, the pin thing was, and automatically when I press the plus button, this, it automatically came to where the arrow thing is. So again, guys, always do it where you want your footage to be. Always place this thing where you want it to be. And if you've put it where you don't want it to be, where it wasn't where you intended to, just click on the song or on the footage. Now when you press it down, when you long press it, when you tap it, it highlights it, you see white. But when you put your finger on it for more than 2-3 seconds, it will turn to yellow. The highlight will be yellow. Now just move it while pressing down to it so that it will go to the beginning of your footage. You see why it is? Press it down, turns to yellow, move it forward or backwards to where you want it to be. So now I want it to be from the start. Now you place it there. If you now press play, you will hear the song as well as the volume of the people speaking.
Make am bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know that. Why you say you don't even hear what?
So that is how you add music, guys. That is how you add music to your video. If the volume of the guy speaking is louder than your song, or you want your song to be lower, you want to reduce the volume so that the song is not overshadowing the voices of who is speaking, either if it is you or it's like me that I'm using actors to speak. What you do is click on the song again. You see the icon button, the pen button on the bottom left of the software. Click it. Remember, you see your volume. Click on your volume, and on the right hand side, you see where it says 100%. All you have to do is reduce the volume. You see where I'm increasing on the right hand side. You reduce the volume of the song to whatever you want. Here, there's no rules here. It's just your own choice. This is your creativity. You own it, guys. It is all yours. So reduce it to wherever you want. From experience, I think 20, let's use 25. 25 might be okay. Remember again, when you press anywhere on the screen, all that will go away. Then if you press play,
Make am bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know that. Why you say you don't even hear what? You gonna do I already play for someone. They say some one piece. They say I'm here on Kombaja. Omega can buy anything.
you can see that the music is playing. If it's still too loud, all you have to do is go again, reduce the volume. But for the purpose of this film, for the purpose of this, I don't think I really need to have song with it. But for you that want to do slideshow with songs, that is how you add song. But please make sure you have copyright to the songs you're using. Make sure the song is yours. If you download any song from online and you're putting the songs, the video on YouTube or Facebook, there's a way YouTube will tell you you've used copyrighted song. They will still let your video play, but sometimes after a while they'll start, you start having difficulties. Your video might not play in certain countries, or the owner of the song will start monetizing and making money from your video, which I don't know. To me, I don't think that is really fair, because you've put in some work, even though the owner of the song has also put in some work by doing the song, but you've put in some work by creating video with the song. So, but music, if you don't have the copyright, the other person gets all the money for it. So I try not to use copyrighted songs. I think it's good practice for you not to use copyrighted songs, because that is you taking somebody else's effort without asking them. So I'm sure you won't be happy if somebody takes your video or your song without asking you. So we would not use this song because I don't really need a song for this. I want to hear what the actors are saying without any song in the background. I don't want a song. So once I click it, that is just to show you how to add song. I'll click it and I'll basket it, I'll bin it. So I don't have a song. Now, now I have a I've edited, we've cut beginning, we've cut the end, and we've added two footage together, we've added transition. The next step will be to add text. I'll add text now, but let's play it a little bit.
Make a bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know they. Why you say you know they put the year what eh? You gonna do allow them to play for someone. They say someone piece. They say I'm here on Kombaja. Kombaja can buy anything. Turn like that. Oh yeah. Inside. Inside. Push it. Now keep going. Officer on that. Oh please. Today you know me say I get this. Now you go inside your house. I don't tell you.
So now what we want to do next is adding text to our footage, text to the footage. And we're going to do that right inside this app, inside this editing app, inside this Power Director editing app. There's so many other editing apps out there. If you feel like using those other ones, I think the fundamentals is going to be similar, but I just love this Power Director because this is the one I use. This is the one I've been using for a while. It is very, very versatile. It is very, very brilliant. I think it's a very, very smart app, and that is why I am using it now, and that is why I feel and I believe that if you use it, you will love it as well. So to choose, remember I said most of all the tabs that most of all the tools that you'll be using most times are on your left hand side, all right? And then on the right, what you have on the right hand side of this app is the play button, and then the other buttons there, I will explain what they are for later on. But now we need to add title. So remember the home button, the top left, you don't need that because that takes you home to the starting point. You're already inside, you don't want to go to the starting point. You want to try and finish this, because if you don't finish it now, you most likely might procrastinate and never end up finishing your edits. So don't go to the home button. The music button and the video reel icon or the video film icon is the one you press to get into your media file to add media and music and pictures. Then the third one down from left, on the left hand side from top down, the third one, I don't know what this looks like. It looks like piles of paper or squares or something. That is the one you need to click on to be able to add text to this video. So when you click on it, very smart, very brilliant editing app. It shows you all the kind of titles they have. Guys, you don't need to start designing anything except just to tweak and change. If you need to design from scratch, that is where you choose this first one on the left, Cyberlink default typing style. However, I love using the ones they've already designed for you. This app has done more than 60% of the job for you. All you're doing is just pick and choose and adding and merging. That is all you're doing, guys. This app has already done all the kind of design of text you can imagine. They've done loads and they're always adding new. So all these ones I'm scrolling through are templates of texts that you can add. Even if you made a film on your phone and you want to add name credits, see, they've got all the styles around to add name credits. Like this one again is the same thing. All you have to do is click on it. You see the add button, you see the play button. So like this one I'm clicking on, I'll press play for you to see how versatile this app is. They've already designed it in a way that it looks like the way they write names in the end credits in movies. If you play it, see, oh my goodness, oh wow, it even has director's name, actor, music, special thanks. So you see, this app is brilliant, but that is not the one I want to use. I just want to show you how to easily add text to it. there's this one I so much love this yellow and black because it just stands out. You see, yellow and black stands out. It turns as well. It's got that effect. It gives you that effect. Anybody that watches your video will think, wow, they will know that you're a professional, that you're even able to tweak your text, make it go slant and all of that. And the yellow and black is just very, very visible. So let's use that. Remember how to add. Just press the plus button. Again, guys, this app is so smart. You can see that it has gone to where this blue line, the blue pin, the blue playhead is. So always put the playhead where you want it to be and then add your thing. You see it goes there automatically. Though I don't need to add title in that place. So remember how we do it. Click on the footage or on the thing. It brings you into the timeline and you will see this back button because I don't need this particular one. You see the back button. That's it. It's gone. This is what I need. And how do I add text? So when you click on the text, when you click on the timeline, remember this thing are moving. Now we've got two things on it. Before we had the music, before I removed the music, which would have been three things on this timeline that are moving. But now we only have two because I removed the music just because I didn't want music. So if you press the footage, anything you do now is affecting the highlighted white one, so which will be the footage. But now what I want to adjust is the text. So if I press the text, that is it. Remember your pencil or pen icon on the left, bottom left hand side. All the tools you'll be needing most of the time are arranged on the left hand side of the app. So click on the pen, you will see where it says add title. If you click on it, there are two sections there. There's add title and then there's another one that says power director. But let's start from the top. So the add title one, which is this yellow one here. So what I did there was you click on you highlight the text box in the timeline, then you click on the add title here, then you click in on the footage itself right there, and this box comes up for you to edit your title. So erase this add title and then you can add your title. Again, I don't know, I'm just obsessed with capital letters, so you can use whatever font or whatever, I mean, if it's caps or if it's small letters you want. I just love capital letters, so I'm going to write behind the scene, behind the scene, behind the scenes, and then you click this right, this mark of pass mark sign here, and automatically you can see it has written behind the scene for me. And then now this power director by Cyberlink, I want to take that out, I want to take it away, and I'll put my name. So again, remember this behind the scene in the timeline at the bottom section where you're working, where you see edit text, font, text color, and all that. The behind the scene here, once I press it, you see, can you see it has come up? So now I'll click on the power director by Cyberlink because that's the next one I want to edit. Then I'll click on it in the footage. I mean, in the window where you're seeing it written. Again, I'll clear that out and I want to write my name. So in your case, you might write your name. My name, I'll do that in small letters then obviously the first letter would be capital Olumide Fadeyibi. And then you click the pass mark again there. And guys, you just see it. Again, just click on the timeline so that it doesn't only play what is highlighted. If you press this and press the play button on the right bottom right hand of the app, it would
Make
all
I bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know that. Why you say you don't even the hear what say? You gonna do allow them to play for someone? They say someone piece. They say
so as I was saying, if you click the text on the timeline alone and you highlight it and you press play, it would only play what is highlighted. But if you want it to play beyond what is highlighted, click the timeline so that nothing is highlighted, move it to where you want it to start playing, and then press play. You'll see that it will keep playing all through. But now when we play the the text, it is blocking the actors. I don't want it to block the actors because I think it's too big. It's on the actors. So what you do is on the actual screen where you're watching the actors, where you're watching the action playing, what you do is go there, click on this first, and then go here and move it. Guys, feel free to move. Again, if you make any mistake, all you do is press your back button or delete and start again. But once you press your back button, you should be able to get your steps because this app automatically saves every step you've done. So here I want to move it down. I can move it down to that place, and then again I'll click on the timeline and then go to the right side, bottom right, and press play again.
Make am bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know they. Why be say you know they put the year what sef? You go dey do allow them to play for someone. They say it's one piece. They say I you know come back.
Fair enough, that is fine, that is good enough. But for the sake of people that might want to know how to reduce the size, all you do is click on that again, and then you will see there's box around it. Then what you do is just shrink it. Either you expand it to make it big or you shrink it down a little bit. So that is it, guys. You can leave it in the center. Now it's not blocking any of the actors. Or if you want to push it down a bit, you can push it down. If you want to move it, if you want to circle it, if you want to, do different things, you can do that. But I'll just leave it the way it is and then bring it down a little bit. This is where your creativity comes in. You can adjust it the way you want. Feel free. There's no particular rule on what to do here. So press play.
Make am bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know they. Why be say you know they put the year what sef? You go dey do allow them to play for someone. They say it's one piece. They say I you know come back. Over there can buy anything. Turn around. Oh yeah. Inside. Someone say nothing for you. Officer on that.
So that is how you add text, guys. That is how you add text. I can't really think of any other thing to show you in this app again, other than we've learned how to cut, we've learned how to join different clips together. We've also learned how to add transition. We've learned how to add music. We've learned how to adjust our volumes. We've learned how to add text to the videos. What else would you want to know? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know in your comments. Let me know, and then I can always do another video to show this, or on the one-on-one sessions, I can always show you how to do this. And please just keep creating, keep doing, using these things. Try and probably play this video again over and over. Use another device to play the video, and then use another device to edit, so that while you're playing it, you can actually be following along on another device that you're using to edit. But if you only have one device, don't hesitate to use that, manage it. But if you can, get somebody's phone to play the music, to play this video again, and then you use your own device to edit if you've downloaded the editing software. I'm just looking around to see what next to do before we export. But to be honest, I think that is sufficient. That is it. Then it's time for you to probably play everything to be happy, to know, you're to feel like you're happy. Play everything over to make sure you're happy with your edit. And that is it. What I mean is play.
Make am bust your brain. You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know they. Why be say you know they put the year what sef? You go dey do allow them to play for someone. They say it's one piece. They say I you know come back. Over there can buy anything. Turn around. Oh yeah. Inside. Someone say nothing for you. Officer on that. pointed nose. Now fly here. It's called Kevin. There's no difference between that. But when you finish talking, come and snap the picture. Let us laminate talking. It is picture you're looking for. Look at it now. Look at your nose like us that Kana is worried. Papa, give me my phone. Papa, give me my phone. Come and take it.
So that is it, guys. That is it. Then the next step is to export this video. Now you want to export what you've done. You want to turn it into video that you can share. Now you can't wait to share your message. You can't wait to share your creations to the rest of the world. So because what you have here is not yet a video, it's not yet an edited video, or you just have it's something inside the software. So how do you share this? How do you export this? Now look towards the right hand side of this app, and then you see an arrow button that is showing like something is going up. This arrow button on the far right, top right, before on top of the gear icon. So press that. Let me go again. This particular one, you can see highlighted blue. I'll go again. This one, I go again. This arrow, the top, the first icon on your top right side of this app, that is what you press, and then you see it tells you, it brings you to a page where it says produce video. So it's, you have save to gallery or SD, you have share on Instagram, that is you can share to your Instagram straight away from this app, you can share to your TikTok, you can share to your YouTube, you can share to Facebook. It has different options. You can save it to cloud, but for the purpose of this training we will do save to gallery or your SD. So click on it, click on save to gallery, which is this one. See, save to gallery, guys. It has already named it for you because you already named it in the first instance, but if in case you forgot to name your video in the first place, here you can rename it again, but I am not renaming this, I am leaving it as that. And this is where you choose all the options you have. Remember, I am on the paid version. I think this is less than £10, but there's the free version for you to get started. But because I'm on the paid version, the premium version, I have the opportunity to have the ultra HD 4K. So if I want to make this video in 4K, but because I didn't shoot it in 4K, I wouldn't really want to turn it to 4K. I think I shot that particular videos in 1080p. So I'll just leave it as 1080p, which is brilliant. That is full HD. If you don't want to, probably you're exporting it for Twitter or something, if you don't want to create big files, you can choose HD 720p. Remember, I told you in the last training that 720p is good enough. SD 360, maybe no, don't use that because that is less quality. That is below, below HD. And these days, nobody would appreciate anything below HD. So we'll go for the full HD 1080p. And you click produce. You can see there's settings, there's produce. Settings just shows you what settings you want it to be, your frame rate, save location, frame rate, which was what Ken was talking about in yesterday, frame rate 30 fps. But this has automatically chosen it for me. I'll just click OK, and then my full HD, all you now do is press produce. And while this is producing, guys, please don't cancel it, don't close this page, just leave the page on. If you can keep touching it, if your phone is going to close or lock the screen, just keep it on. Try not to leave this app at this stage, just leave it on. Don't close the app, don't let your screen lock go on, let it keep going till it gets to 100%. You want to wait till it's 100% before you close the app. Wow, it is 100%. You can play it. It has saved into your camera roll. So wherever you normally save your videos, it's good for you to know where your videos normally save. But I think if you go into your files, it will be in the video section, and it will automatically be in a folder called Power Director. So if you look into there, you'll see. What you can do now is share your video to wherever you want to share it to, or done. You get, or press done. That means you're done. Again, if you play here, you will see.
You want make I kill you? Oh yeah. You know they. Why you say you know they put the year what you gonna do allow them to play.
You see what I mean? If you play it, your video is played, and now you can share the finished video. So that is it. That is how to use this Power Director app. It is a brilliant app, very easy to use. And please, please, please don't get scared to go beyond what I've shown you. Press everything you can press, because you only learn by making mistakes. But I've saved you tons of time, because you can go in, just follow these steps, and you will be able to produce a brilliant video, brilliant edit, and watch your video and share your messages, share your marketing videos, share whatever it is you want to share with the rest of the world. And that is it, guys. Power Director.
Yeah, so that is it, and it's a very powerful app. I know that some people were asking questions, so I'll just quickly go through those questions again. Grace says, "Can you cut in the middle section?" Yes, it is the same idea. If you noticed, it wasn't like I was at the end. It was just I just wanted to remove those voices. So wherever you like to cut, and then if you have another footage, just move it into that point that you want it to be. But then I'm happy to make another video, or you can get me on the one-on-one sessions. As I said earlier on, I have an expert editor in the house to just talk to some of us that are already editing, that we just need some advice. Or if you would like to connect with him, you can always, get some mentoring from him, and things like that. So I'll bring in Ken Morrison to quickly talk to us about the art of editing and share his experience. Hello, Ken.
Hello, everybody, and that was some really useful tips and information there. I'm really amazed at what you can do with mobile phones these days, because if I had a mobile phone that could do that when I started filming videos, it's amazing what I could be doing now.
Yeah, it's so powerful because those phones, I mean, the current phones in the market they are even maybe more powerful than our systems. I remember when I started editing, I had a 8 gig RAM laptop and I edited films on it. And right now I'm using an 8 gig RAM mobile phone, and people have 12 gig, 32 gig phones. So that is amazing. Just quickly, because I know your time is almost up. You have maybe less than 5 minutes. Um, what would be the tip or advice you would share with somebody that is just coming up? Or before you do that, can you just give us your background? How did you get into video editing?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so everyone knows my name's Ken Morrison. I started the video in the days of VHS. Believe it or not, maybe some people are not old enough to know what that is, but I I was filming weddings and live events on VHS, and editing, just assembly editing. But then from a brief break over the years, and probably in the last, say, 5-6 years, I've got back into digital videography now. And I wanted to get something that was going to be not age so quickly, so I decided to go for the 4K option. So I got my first 4K video camera about 4 years ago, and I had a musician friend, who was wanting to start up a band. So he had prepared some songs he wanted to have a video for. So actually it's quite good, because we went into the studio and just with a single camera, he played back the song, and he had mics live, instruments live, but we actually only used the soundtrack that he'd pre-recorded. So he'd taken specific care to make sure he'd produced the sound very well. And that was something you'd mentioned yesterday, especially with any video, but even more so music videos. The sound is more important, I would say, than the actual video, although they both play a big part in the final production. So anyway, we had the audio, and because it was coming from playback, they were singing over it. Every time if it took another take, for example, from a different angle, then there was still the same backing track for the timing of that, because if they're playing live, you don't have the same rigid timing, so you might find that things go out of sync between recordings. So my first video was actually done just with one camera, but with 4 takes, and we put it all together in the editing suite. Now, obviously, for your viewers today, many of them will be using mobile phones, but I have been using some NLE or non-linear editing software on my computer. I got a workstation specifically built to do that because I was working in 4K. If you're working in 1080p, then it's probably not quite so demanding, but if you're working in 4K, you really need to have a powerful beast of a machine. So albeit some of your mobile phones are really powerful. So that's that was where that came about. Now, when I load a project on to my timeline, I may have multiple cameras. If it's just a single camera, then that's fine. I can put them onto the timeline and preview the clips first of all to make sure I know where they want to go. With the other editors such as DaVinci Resolve, Pinnacle Studio, I think Adobe, you've got Final Cut Pro and likes of that. If you want to go to that extent, you can have multiple tracks on your timeline so that you can have different picture-in-picture or fade-in. So, yeah, there's a lot of scope when you do move to that stage. I'm not sure if you want how much detail you want me to go into just now, but obviously.
Yeah, but by the way, guys, Ken will be available on one of our for the next training videos that we'll be doing, the next training sessions that we'll have, and he will be able to show us, maybe his screen and show us some of the editing software that he's using. This is for those that are going to be editing on the computer, that want to be doing professional video editing. For those that are using the mobile phones, the app that I explained earlier on, please try and start doing it, because the most important thing is for you not to procrastinate. Try and start. Watch the video from yesterday, learn how to film, and then today, watch today's own, go over it, learn how to edit, because that would be very, very important. And we would like to see your finished videos, because we would want it to be part of the exhibition later on next year. So in the next training sessions, Ken will be able to demonstrate for us. But Ken, you were talking about attention, that you guys paid attention, and that's one of the skills. But I want you to just briefly tell us before you go, what are the skills needed for people that are aspiring to be editors? Maybe they're in college now, or they're just looking to take on editing as a profession, because the art of editing is actually where the whole story comes together. Even if you could have done everything. If you don't put it together, nobody will see what you've done. Nobody will be able to know the product or services or whatever story you're trying to tell until you start editing. So what are the skills? What are the key skills, and what tips would you be able to share to people out there?
Well, a lot of the time you have to, I think, as you mentioned in your video yesterday, you have to plan your shoot. Now, obviously, for me, I'm usually shooting live music events, but if you're planning a shoot, you need to get your camera angles so that you're well placed to get a good shot, and make sure that the background is not going to be either unsightly, not really contributing to the finished product, or is a distraction. You want the focus to be on the subject or the performer, so therefore you want to make sure that you've got them. Lighting, as you said, is also important, and really when you're doing this, you find that you have to have multiple skills, and quite often it's useful to have people to help. But if you're doing it on your own, then you have to plan well ahead to get that. Get your camera angle shot sorted as well. But one thing I also found as well, especially for filming live music events, is that you need to get your sound recording from a fixed position, because if your camera moves about at all, if it's handheld or on a tripod on a dolly, the sound content will vary as you move from one side to the other, or closer to the stage or whatever. So it's really important.
Sorry to comment. Basically, from an editor point of view, so somebody who just wants to be an editor, what are the skills and what tips would they need so because some people don't want to bother about filming, they just want to
Hmm.
know the art of editing. What are the skills or the tips that you can share with an aspiring editor?
Hmm. Oh, let's see then. Well, you obviously you want to plan the sequence of your clips, because you might shoot them in a particular order, and you might find that one of the shots or some of the shots you've taken you can't use, so you need to go and get an alternative shot. So with the editors on workstations or PCs, for example, then you can have multiple layers. So you could actually overlay another video clip and use the audio from the original track, but put the video on top of that to mask the bit that you say, for example, somebody walked in front of the camera and you didn't want that. You can cut away to an alternative shot and use that. And then come back to the main shot once the scene has cleared. Those are sort of things. One thing I was going to say as well, when you're composing your video, I quite often do my cuts or maybe transitions and effects, and sometimes depending on the mood of the actual material or the content. If it's a musical video, for example, there's maybe quite an up tempo beat, then you might find that your cuts are shorter if you have more than one camera. If you've got one camera, then you're limited to what you can do. But sometimes, if you have just a fixed camera, sometimes the camera, if it's able to move steadily to a different angle, that can add effects to the finished production. I'm not sure how that fits in with editing, mind you, but it's always useful if you're doing something like that, a live event, to have a second camera. But that's maybe not the topic for discussion
I
today.
think it does fit in with editing because that helps with the storytelling. So you're right,
Mhm,
because multiple angles does help
mhm.
with
Yeah.
editing, and it helps to cover
Mhm,
mistakes. It's just that it's at least at the intermediary level
mhm.
or advanced level.
Yes.
You get, yeah.
One thing I would also add as well, when you've done all your edits and effects or transitions, I usually leave my titles to a separate production or edit, so that you can always reuse the original video without text. Because if you put text on that and then you want to use part of that later on with text on it that you no longer need, then you have to go back to the original. So if you export the project as an intermediate project, then add on any titles. And sometimes people do that to add on special effects if they're overlaid. So that's useful, so you can actually.
That's a powerful tip there. That's a great tip to have your title separate from me and then just add it in case they want a different title, they want you to go back. That's
Yes,
quite powerful. Thank you very much, Ken. And I know we would be able to catch you again on the
yes,
next training where you will be able to show us step by step how to use Pinnacle Studio, right? Pinnacle
yes. Okay.
Studio software. It's a PC based software, so it is for that training will be for people that are using PCs or laptops to edit and would want to know step by step guide on that. Guys, don't forget that the training we did today, the app we used is Power Director, and you can always find that app on the App Store. You can find that app on the App Store. This is it. It is Power Director, and all you have to do again is probably just go back, play this video, take your time, just follow the steps and try new things. Don't hesitate to try new things. And thank you for staying with us. Thank you for watching this. And I think the next training is going to be on the 5th of December. It will be a live training session like this again. But before then, reach out to me, reach out to Ken. You can connect with Ken on Facebook, and also inbox me or email and ask your specific questions or arrange how we could meet so I could show you the steps. If we can't meet, I can make a short video or do video call or phone you and walk you through step by step what you need to do. But make sure you have started. Don't say not that you want me to go over everything again, but problem specific. Probably like Grace that said she doesn't, I mean, can she cut in the middle? So she should have at least attempted to cut in the middle, and maybe probably she can put the footage in the middle where she made the cut, I'll be happy to show her what to do on the one-on-one training, guys. Take advantage of this. It has been sponsored and funded, so please take advantage of it. Make sure you get in touch. And thank you so much for watching. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and please share this video so that more people will get to see. And thank you very much. Next time.